name's Artemis. It seems a certain question has re-entered the minds of people in the fandom because of a certain cosplayer who portrays a certain villain from a certain movie with a certain name called Bon Voyage. And yes, you might know of them from sweeping that gun across the fucking crowd to get a photo because someone gave him a prop gun that was, by the way, checked out by the fucking PD, con security and con staff, so it was actually okay. He's turned up to a convention again because that's what people do when they enjoy conventions. They go to them, and people are starting to question the nature of whether or not cosplayers should be allowed at Furcons, because guess what? Furries sure love policing how people have fun. What the fuck? So I guess that's what we're fucking talking about. And it starts off with a simple question. You know, do cosplayers belong at Furcons? Let's find out. So I guess the first question that we really have to answer when it comes to this sort of thing is, do cosplayers belong at furry conventions? And the simple answer is, yeah, of course. If they're into the furry fandom, then they're allowed at a convention. Nowhere on a fucking Furcon website does it give strict fucking guidelines as to what counts as a potential attendee. There's no rules for being a furry. There's no criteria you have to meet. You don't go to an office and get a furry license. So why are we gatekeeping this shit? If you want to turn up, turn up. You pay your attendance fee. You abide by the fucking rules. Job done. That's it. That's all you need to do. Not every furry wants to fursuit. Not every furry wants the fact that they're a furry to be the biggest part of their personality. And I'm not sure whether people are aware of this, but you can be more things than just one. It's a very strange concept, I know, but you can also be a cosplayer and a furry, and you might want to alternate what you do depending on the time, because funnily enough, not everybody has 10 grand to spend on a fursuit. So that whole fucking side of things is ultimately stupid, and I don't like that fucking answer. The first fur meets I went to had a decent-sized group of people who used to turn up with Nerf guns, and that was what they liked. They were still furries. Was it weird? I guess. I didn't know that there was people into Nerf guns that much, but there was. But then also, I'm in a fucking dog costume. I don't think I really get the right to dictate what is and is not weird, right? So fuck that question. Oh, well, it's just a cosplayer. Why are cosplayers infecting our fucking fandom? Shut the fuck up. Stop gatekeeping, for God's sake. We get it. You don't like this one specific guy. You don't get to decide that. You are going to a convention that you're not fucking running. He paid his ticket price the same as you. So shut the fuck up. Then a really weird part about this is why we put any distinction between cosplay and furry anyway, because they seem to be pretty much the fucking same. You're both gonna have some sort of character that you're portraying. You're both likely to dress up as that. You're both likely to take on the mannerisms of it and use it as your username. It's how you like to portray yourself in this fandom. In fact, if anything, when I have to explain to people what the furry fandom is, I basically say like what it's like cosplay, only, you know, we make our own characters instead of taking them from media. They're both fucking the same. You're still doing the same stuff. I don't understand why we put this massive division between the two, as if furries aren't also engaging in cosplay, as if cosplayers aren't also potentially furries as well. When they're so similar, there's so much bleed over from one to the other that it's pretty easy to merge them. And that doesn't mean that every cosplayer is a furry and every furry is a cosplayer, obviously, but they're so fucking similar that finding any point between them where you can say, you know, that makes you this one and not that one is ridiculous and stupid. And the fact that people are even trying to do that is just, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, children. Go back to school. Jesus Christ. Why? Why are we bothering to have this stupid fucking inane argument? Is it just because you're a little butthurt about one particular person? Because if it is, then it's time to log off. It's time to touch some grass or some shit, you terminally online bastards. Fucking hell. Yet furries, cosplayers, practically the same fucking thing, okay? There's barely any differences between the two. So that's that fucking question done. Jesus. Now, seeing as there are so many similarities between furries and cosplayers, in fact they're pretty fucking much the same, there is still a lot of reasons why people go to Furcons and general conventions. Now, just because it's a furry convention doesn't mean that it's purely, exclusively a furry convention. In the same way that an anime convention is not purely and exclusively just for fans of anime. You still see fursuiters go to those things. Same for Comic-Con, same for any convention. When you have a convention, it's basically a community nerd experience. You're going for a general convention vibe that has a specific theme around a specific fandom. Sure, some of them can be a bit more niche and a bit more focused than others, but essentially, the reasons that you're gonna go is gonna be for a sense of a community, to see friends, to hang out, to have a con space to just do shit in and feel safe doing it, being in fursuit, being in cosplay, making vines, fucking vines, Jesus, I'm old, TikToks, that's the modern one, making videos, making memes, just generally hanging out with friends and doing crazy convention shit. Whether it says furry before the word convention, or anime or comic, you're still going to be able to do all of those things. So the reasons why cosplayers go to Furcons are just as numerous as to why we go to Furcons as well. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a cosplayer and the only convention that comes to your town is a Furcon, and you can still go and you like furries, you're gonna fucking go, okay? You're not gonna sit there and go, oh, well, those 3 letters aren't exactly the same as cosplay, so I guess I shouldn't go. Fuck off. There's so many reasons people go to these things, and they share those reasons. That makes them valid to attend, really, doesn't it? So we've decided what a fucking cosplayer is and that they're valid and that they're pretty similar to a furry, and we decided that yes, there's a lot of reasons why they want to go to a Furcon, but is there a line in the sand that thou shalt not cross? Where is the line? Because there must be, right? Apparently, there are lines in the sand that we all have to fucking obey, apparently. And I'll be honest, yes, when it comes to prop weapons, maybe yeah, every con's gonna have a different idea of what they want to do about that. Every con's going to have a different idea of what their attendees are going to feel about that. And yeah, maybe that's a larger conversation to have, especially in the current climate with things like terror attacks and, you know, mass shootings and all. Yeah, it's easy for people to be a bit more sensitive about that. And I fully understand that. That's very valid. I am from a culture that doesn't traditionally have guns, which means when I see a gun, I don't really connect it with shooting. I connect it with it's like a toy, because that's the only time I've ever seen them. Cosplay, props, fake stuff. It's very difficult for me to look at a gun and think, oh, this could be the end of my life, because I've not grown up in a culture that has got that. We understand they're dangerous, but they're very alien to us, and a lot of British people will live their whole life without fucking seeing one. So I fully understand it, but also, if you're going to go to a convention, you are abiding by the rules of that convention. You understand and agree to the code of conduct and how this convention's going to run things. So, if that convention has a rule when it comes to prop weapons, and that rule is we're going to check them over, we're going to put tape on them, we're going to make sure that they're absolutely safe, and they do that, it's time for you to shut the fuck up. Because you've gone to that con knowing that those are the rules, and if you didn't read them, that's your fucking problem. And they've done the rules. Now, the first time this Bon Voyage issue came up, he had gotten that weapon checked. Wasn't also his weapon, by the way, but it was checked, and it was checked by security, the local police force, and con staff, and all of them checked it off, and it was fine. So it's just a bunch of butthurt assholes just being like, yeah, but what if it was real? It wasn't. Multiple people checked it out. Yeah, but if you see a gun in public, you think gun. Cool, that sounds like that's on you. The world doesn't change for you. I'm sorry if this is news, but that's on you to determine, basically. You know, if somebody keeps ringing a bell and every time they do, I get punched in the face, it's reasonable for me to expect to be punched in the face if someone rings a bell. But that's on me to fix. I don't get to say to the rest of the world, no more bells, okay? Second of all, this is a really strange issue considering how much other shit in the fandom we need to address first. And I don't want to start going down the rabbit hole because, yeah, I'm fairly certain there's a lot of crossover. The people that don't like all of this stuff, all of the prop weapons, are going to be the same people that don't like pup hoods and fetish gear. And that's a very difficult one. I've made videos on that before. That comes a lot down to personal preference. Not everyone's going to be on board with the same idea of things. But I have seen certain people who are just like, oh, that is wrong, we shouldn't have cosplayers at the fandom, and then you walk about and like, you are practically butt fucking naked walking through the con space, and that's okay? It's a bit double standards there, okay? Little bit fucking double standards. Where do you draw the line? Do you draw the line at, you follow the rules of the con, and if people are doing that, then shut the fuck up? Because I think that's a good place to go with it. And I get it, by the way. I do get with this Bon Voyage. He didn't even have a gun. He's just doing it for attention. And what the fuck do you think I'm doing right now? You think I'm making these videos to just put them on my hard drive and not let anybody see them? You think I'm not happy that people watch my shit? Who the fuck amongst us doesn't do something for attention? Why the fuck do you think we put so much effort into all of this? Why is that a bad thing? Some people like that. What's the problem with it? Or is it just that they're getting more attention than you? Is that the main fucking problem? Because the little bit of me starts to think that it is. And the ultimate question that it all boils down to, does it matter? Absolutely fucking not. No. None of this shit matters, okay? It all is going to come down to a matter of personal preference. Some people just don't like it, others just don't care. Nobody's gonna fucking agree. Okay, there is so much in this fandom we should be focusing on, but I guess the cyclical nature of what we're pissed off about this week always has to swing back around to this at some point because of a specific person. And lumping everybody in because of how you feel about one person is the exact sort of shit you hate other people doing to you. So what are you, a fucking hypocrite or just a cunt? Oh, then again, the two are not mutually exclusive now, are they? This is not some Animal Farm, some are more equal than others bullshit, okay? And when you start telling people, oh, you shouldn't be coming because you're a cosplayer, I don't like cosplayers at Furcons, you sound like an elitist gatekeeping prick. The exact sort of fucking asshole that this entire fucking fandom is designed for us to use as an escape from. Why be like this? I get it. You have this little idea of paradise and this wonderful fandom image that nothing will ever live up to, and you see someone that might just be infringing on that. Tough fucking shit. Welcome to the real world, honey. Not everybody has to fucking bow down and curtail to what you want the fucking fandom experience to be. That's never going to fucking happen, okay? Plus, I just want to point out, most of the drama that happens around this sort of thing happens on twitter.com, I'm dead naming it, fuck X, and it always seems to happen that the people who are most pissed off by these things aren't even at the fucking convention. They're not even there. It matters so little. You have seen some pixels on a screen and determined, wow, I'm upset by something that doesn't fucking matter to me. I don't get it. What kind of little piss babies are you? Man the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Deal with it. He's doing it for attention. Right. Yeah, because the last thing any of us want with our massive fucking social media accounts is attention. And the last thing you want to do is give him attention, which is why you're tagging him, which is why you're sharing videos of him, which is why you're doing everything that you say he wants you to do. Are you in on the joke? Do you understand what irony is? Am I just shouting at a brick wall at this fucking point? God damn. Do better, furries. Do fucking better. I get it. You're not all gonna fucking like this guy, but tough shit. We got plenty of other things in this fandom that we might need to address first. Someone with a fucking prop gun with orange tape on it, cosplaying from a movie that came out decades ago. It's pretty low down on the fucking list, okay? When we've excised all the zoos, all the Nazis, all the abusers, maybe we can start looking at that shit. And even then, we're probably going to realise, that doesn't matter. Because it never fucking mattered. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. This is a very divisive topic for some reason. It seems to be really hitting the divisive buttons amongst people. So let me know what side of that divisive line you are on. Let's keep using the word divisive. That's nice. That's a buzzword. But yeah, it's something that's always going to be a thing. I'm fairly certain once this situation's blown over like it always does, that there'll just be another one that crops up another time. And ultimately, I don't really think we should get into a space of policing what people can and can't wear to a fucking convention when it comes to cosplay and shit. Like, you can have your rules of nudity and fetish gear and restrict it to adult-only spaces, and, you know, that's fair enough. But when we start saying, like, you can't cosplay this character because of this, you can't cosplay that character because of that, then is that not the sort of world we're trying to get away from when we escape to this shit? People telling us what we can and can't be? I mean, some are more equal than others. Animal Farm much? I've made that reference in this video already, but I'm making it again because what the fuck? But there you go. There's my opinion on the whole thing. I think people just generally need to shut the fuck up and mind their fucking business, especially if they're not even at the convention. I mean, even if they are, if it's not impacting you. It seems like such a non-issue for people to be pissed off about. It really fucking does. But then here we are. That's furries in a nutshell. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are looking at me and thinking, wow, I really like this video, I'd like to support this guy. Well, obviously, I'm moving to America, and there are a couple of ways you can do that. We have a PayPal donation link, and we have a wedding registry that you can look at and help support our life in the future. And just in case you're not fully aware, the Patreon, the OnlyFans, the Fansly, the Ko-Fi, and the Artwork T-sites are all going because once I move to America, I don't have the right to work quite yet. So they're all going to be taking a break as I shut down the business on this side of the pond and restart a new one on the other side. But for now, if you did want to help and whatnot, then any little helps, and it really does mean the absolute world to me. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's not have this fucking conversation again. Let's let this issue rest forever. Yeah, thank you. Bye!